Jordan Brand and the Air Jordan 1 Mid seems to be taking a page out of the Nike SB catalog and doing some weird shit with their models. It's kind of interesting, to say the least. And I'm actually surprised that they did it, because this is a brand all about legacy. Doing weird shit like this is out of the ordinary for them. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these weird shoes right here. This is the Air Jordan 1 Mid SE Cheeseburger? I don't know. Now, before we get started, this is the box. So on the last Air Jordan 1 Mid video that we did, it was on the retro, or the most recent retro of the New Loves. And I had said how the box was a little bit different. Looks like that's not gonna be a reoccurring theme for like a lot of these other mids. So these come in the regular mid box. The reason why the New Loves came in a box that looked the way that they did was probably because they were paying tribute to the original 2-tier box that the original Old Love New Love pack came in. But yeah, this is the regular Jordan 1, regular box, the not OGs. So like if you're buying a pair of Jordan 1 lows, a pair of Jordan 1 mids, they're usually coming in a box like this with the Wings logo and all of that stuff. Now, I have explained previously that when you are looking at the Air Jordan 1 Low and the Air Jordan 1 Mid, when you're trying to get the most bang for your buck or the highest quality versions of those models, you're gonna wanna look for the pairs that are labeled as SE, aka Special Edition. And that's what these are. These are definitely a special edition, but not only that, the materials are awesome. That's one of the coolest parts about this, is that not only do they look kind of crazy, but they actually use quality materials on top of that. And that goes for other versions of this shoe that are not in this cheeseburger looking colorway and stuff. There are multiple SE editions of the Air Jordan 1 and Air Jordan 1 Low. I think we just saw one recently over at Phenom. It was a Jordan 1 Low. They were like white and UNC-ish blue, or maybe it was teal, I can't remember. But the leather on that was great. The SE editions, those are the ones to go for. Now, as far as this shoe goes, this seems to be part of a pack, which is pretty interesting. Not a pack that are sold together as a pack like the Old Love, New Love originally was, but more so just in a weird collector edition pack that really doesn't have much context to it. But if you're a Jordan fan and you're gonna look at, like, this is the cheeseburger, there's a women's pair that's a milkshake, and then there's a grade school pair that's for the fries. Most of you guys probably know that MJ was sponsored by McDonald's.
Jordan sets, he puts it up, and it's good!
So if this is pointing towards that, that's pretty cool. Obviously, they're not paying licensing fees for actual McDonald's branding and things like that, but I don't think that they really need to with this. It's pretty obvious. It's a cheeseburger inspired shoe. Now, as far as the outsole goes, it's pretty plain. It's very simple. It's the greatest traction of all time. It's done up in this light tan color, and it looks great. The midsole itself is a rubber cup sole. It does look to be sail, and I think that it works really well with this particular look. It kind of is seamless. It doesn't look pre-vintage or old. It just looks like it's part of the color combination. Now, inside of the cup sole is a polyurethane wedge. Inside that polyurethane wedge is an encapsulated air sole unit. And on top of that is this really cool receipt looking graphic insole. The insole itself is a cheap piece of shit. One of the things that you can do, not just for comfort, but for preservation purposes, if you wanted to keep that graphic looking pristine, just pull the insole out and swap it out for a different insole. And again, if you're looking to do that for comfort purposes, you can always do that in general. Now, I'm just gonna get over with the part of the shoe that I don't love. It's just the tongue. I just don't like how firm it is. It's nylon, which is great, but it's just really structured or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, it's firm. It's not super comfortable like an Air Jordan 1 OG High or an Air Jordan 1 Low OG, where they're the really thin padded tongues that are still made up of nylon. This one is just, I don't know how to explain it. Just, I mean, look at it, man. It's like a shin guard. Outside of that though, I think that the shoe overall is really cool. Like, even if you're going onto the top of the tongue where you see the Jumpman patch, that's actually leather, which is surprising. So again, for a Jordan 1 Mid, go with the SE version. You're getting the best materials that you can out of the mix. Now, speaking of the materials, you've got almost all leather everything. Not everything is leather, obviously, and it's not premium by any means, but it is very nice, especially when you're considering other Air Jordan 1 mids. The top layer, the overlay material, is basically this darker brown. It's a very thin polyurethane coated leather. It feels really good. They are thin cuts of leather, but I don't think that that's a big deal. Like, it's actual leather, so I think that that's a big win. One of the weird things that I think is really cool is that it's all accented by all of this red piping. So yeah, like when you're looking at something like this to be manufactured isn't going to be cheap, you know what I mean? So it's just a very interesting thing to do for a Jordan 1 mid. Like, you'd think that this would be on a Jordan 1 High OG just based off of pricing, but again, this brand is all about legacy, so I don't think that they're trying to touch those shoes and make them weird like that. I think that doing that with a mid is, for one, very, very different. Like, it's very out of character for the brand. But I think that it also is pointing towards what we could look forward to in the future with the brand with shoes like this, where they're going to start to play around with concepts. And that's something that we just haven't seen from the brand. We've just only seen colorways, storytelling through colorways, but they're going above and beyond now. Again, kind of like entering that Nike SB realm where like the chunky dunks and all that stuff, where there's like weird stuff that they've done and they're clearly like heavily themed. It looks like we're going that route with the Jordan 1 Mid. And I suppose if you're going to do it with any of the Jordans, this would be the one to do it with. Now, the rest of the materials are again very interesting. So the swoosh itself, it's leather. It's the same exact leather that's on the tongue patch, and you can tell that that's the melted cheese. But the material behind it, the quarter panel, if you will, is suede, and it's actually decent. So I really like that. The toe leather, the underlay material, is also leather, but it's not great. Like, this is probably the cheapest material on here. And they have the synthetic nubuck on top of that. But all of the perforations that are typically seen on an Air Jordan 1 toe box are replaced with perforations that look like sesame seeds. This, you can't tell me that this isn't a Big Mac.
The McJordan special, now it's back in town.
Now, one of the most interesting materials would be the corduroy looking material. It's actually not corduroy, it's just a nubuck, but it is pressed with the rib texture. I assume mimicking lettuce, pickles. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear with your Air Jordan 1s, that is what I would go with for the Air Jordan 1 Mid. This particular pair is available right now at the majority of retailers. This particular pair I grabbed from Phenom. So if you're local here in the Sacramento area, I have seen them at other stores too, like over at Arden and things like that. But if you wanted to support a local small business, go to Phenom at the Doco Shopping Center or at their second location in Elk Grove. And with all that being said, what is today's user submitted question of the day?
You have a chance to win $50 million by surviving being hunted by one of these famous movie monsters / villains for 4 hours. You have to choose one. Which would it be? The Predator, the Terminator, the Xenomorph? You have home court advantage. All these scenarios take place in your hometown.
The Xenomorph is a hard no, and I'm definitely not getting hunted by a predator. The only one where, based off of movie fact logic only, that people have survived for more than 4 hours in their hometown has been Terminator.
I thought so too, and then I thought you were gonna be like,
no, you
you're
gotta
wrong.
Go. No, you gotta go with movie logic.
Because
you know
I mean,
what I mean?
the child survived.
Well, so did Sarah Connor in the first one.
So
she was being hunted the whole time.
I should be good.
That's what I'm saying. Like as long as you could run fast or hop on a dirt bike or something, like you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Run into a reprogrammed robot. That's your best case scenario.
Yeah.
Unless you're part of the first movie, then you're, well, still. She got away. That was an easy answer. But what about you guys? Sound off below and let us know which of the 3 options you'd choose. Remember, this is for $50,000, so choose wisely. Only 50,000?
50 million.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't know if that's quite worth it, but still. And on top of that, sound off below and let us know what you think about the weirdest Air Jordan 1 to ever release so far. The weirdest pack, at least. Do you think that this is a cool concept? Do you like where Jordan Brand is headed with stuff like this? Do you think they should do more of it? Do you think that they should do stuff like this on retro products? Or when they do, only keep it to the grade school category? But again, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, so sound off below and let us know. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.